Engines fire up for the final time this round for KA100, 145 and 155 kilos. Let's take you through the grid for 21 drivers here for the final. 14 minutes plus an additional lap on the cards. Felix de Decker and Anton Bathidou line up on the front row. Mick Blankensport and leading 155 kilo driver Maurice Istas round out row number 2. Good work by Luxembourg's Pit Limpach in the 712 to line up alongside the 710 of Arthur Matagne. The 706 of Quentin Hanoul will be joined by the 723 of Jaden Gruchans. The 748 of Paul Hersin will be joined by the 721 of Thibaut Wolfelt, with Tuan Kurman in the 738 155 entry, joined on row 6 by the 145 kilo entry of Emile Duerings on the 705. The 733 and the 799 of Leopold Ferman and Enzo Vituli round out row 7. Row 8 will be the 716 and the 703 of Rafael Pahash and Yannick Schmidt. Mika Kolakovic in the 702 will be joined by the 728 of Stain Boss on row number 9, completing the 21-strong grid, the 707 of Sana Ben Nasser, the 765 of Kylian Pastor, and the 708 of Nicolas Matai. So the drivers are steeled and ready for one final encounter here at the circuit. KA100 earlier on today got off to a chaotic start in heat number 1 with a multi-card incident at the opening corner just after we went green. 14 minutes is a different proposition altogether, because as they say, to finish first you must finish. Into the tram lines, revs rise, lights are out, we're underway. Good even start by the front row, as Felix de Decker will lead the field, but look at Mick Blankensport up the inside. He's going to be wheel to wheel through into turn 2. The comp kart driver from the Netherlands, is he going to have the lead by turn 3? The answer is yes. Great work there by Mick Blankensport. Just threaded the eye of the needle. De Decker got the start. Blankensport slotted in behind and used that slipstream to absolute perfection. But here goes off the Pantano chassis of the 799 Enzo Vituli. Oh, and we had one getting a bit sideways. That was the Birrell Art of, I think, Pit Limpach in the 712, going through into turn number 8. But a great start there by Mick Blankensport. He just got the job done, nailed it to the mast and went, right, off we go. Kylian Pastor and Nicolas Matai are not starts. And Helena goes, Mick's fan club in Germany is watching. I'm wondering if that does include a certain Marcel Schirmer, who actually through Kartom Hagen does actually is the German provider for Compkart in this part of the world. So the opening minute and a half for the drivers at the front end of the field. I mean, Blankensport and Bathadou have just pulled away. They've just cantered off into the distance. So 12 minutes to go, and things are very, very much up close and personal at the minute when you look back towards fourth and then beyond, because you've got Maurice Istas and Arthur Matagne battling over fourth overall. Istas is leading the 155 class, and there's a big gap between Bathedou and De Decker, 1.3 seconds. There's the 723. Jaden Gruchans right with, I think that's Paul Hersat in front. Oh no, that's the 712 of Pit Limpach from Luxembourg in the 712. So they're... But there are still battles waging on, as we've got the 710 versus the 748. So Arthur Matagne closing on Paul Hersat. Hersat has made the move through at the moment. Thibaut Wolfauer has passed Twan Kurman, who's dropped down. Emile Dwellings is in P10 behind Leopold Ferman, who's made up 4 places from 13th on the grid. We've still got about 10 minutes to go, plus an additional lap. We have 2 more finals before we conclude proceedings here at the Circuit de Karting de la Métropole here at Racing Kart JPR. 10 minutes on the time is still remaining, and the top 2 have pulled away. But Anton Bathedou is closing that gap and has put in the fastest lap of the race, 59.151. Meantime, well, the 748 of Paul Hersat has just got through, and that is on Maurice Istas. And they're still three-way battle is really starting to intensify. They've got a car closing in. That's the Luxembourger Pit Limpach, I believe, in the 712 Birolot, closing in. This battle is just not, it's not calming down at the moment. They are literally just going hell for leather at the minute. And it can take just one wrong move, one slip up, one mistake, and somebody might find themselves on the receiving end of the wrong end of the stick. So at the minute, with 8 1/4 minutes still to go, it's anyone's guess as to what might happen here. So 7 minutes and 51 seconds plus an additional lap remains in this KA100 145 155 finale here for round 2 of the season. And, well, Blancasbourg and Bathedou have pulled away. They have got a 4.7 second lead over Felix De Decker. De Decker is falling by the wayside. Bathedou is going to try everything he can in his power to put the pressure onto Mick Blancasbourg. But that is easier said than done. And in the words of the late Murray Walker, it's one thing to catch somebody. It's something else to pass them entirely. You just got to try and pick your moment, because it might come at a time when you do get there, but it's also dependent on how the person in front of you is going to react. And now Bathidou has got to within 3/10. Now that look at the closing rate. Bathidou swarming all over the back. He's not going to go through for it yet. The CRG driver making the move through at turn 3. Now into the double left here at 4 and 5. And then into the double left again here. It's like they're nearly making a cardboard box in a sort of like a cart shape. And then it's into the right at 8, through 9, into 9 and 10 here at the chicane. Then round the kink, which then brings us into 11. But Bathidou is really hustling Blancaspor along. Through the final couple of corners into the last 90 right, sweeping through at full speed. Gap between them was 0.277, now 0.242. And he has got the run. Bathidou, is he going to try something? They're going to be going into turn 3 very shortly. No, he's keeping Blancaspor on edge. Oh, this is a great tactic. Blancaspor has got to do exactly what he needs to. And says, oh, Helena goes, no, just Jorg and Helena Blancaspor. Go, Mick. Helena, thanks to you and Jorg for keeping up apprised of what Mick is doing at the moment. He's doing a fantastic job at the front end of the field, but there is that pressure. He will feel that from behind. He's got to anticipate what Bathidou does, so we still have 19 out of the 21 drivers that were due to start. They are all still running. Arthur Matagne through on Felix Decker. Leopold Ferman through on Pit Limpach. So Ferman up 6 places. At the moment, the top 3 in each class. Blancaspor, Bathidou and Hersin in 1:45. Now, I think Bathidou is waiting until the absolute last moment on this front. And the reason being is that this is how a battle starts. You have the lines drawn, but then there's going to be that one person that's going to make that first move. And then it starts that domino effect of what happens afterwards. It's like putting your chess piece, it's like playing drafts or playing chess. You know, you've got to think of, okay, where do I put the knight? Which pawns do I sacrifice? And that's how battling happens. It's great to see, but there is a little bit of a lead coming the way of Mick Blancaspor. He's started to respond to Bathidou, trying to close that gap. And now, Blancaspor has opened that gap up to double what it was, at least. Meantime, Arthur Matagne is closing in on Paul Hersin for 3rd place, and they are right literally attached at the bumper. Top 3 at the moment in 1:55. Maurice Istaz, 7th. Jaden Gruchans, 10th. Tuan Kurman in 11th at the moment. So that's the top 3. This is a really good battle. So Matagne is ahead of Hersin, so that's P3 for the 7-1-0 from Belgium. But you can see how big that gap is. Oh my goodness, the front 2 are away by 9.1 seconds. And whilst Matagne and Hersin are battling over P3, Hersin dives to the inside. Good move. Nice, clean textbook from the 7-4-8. But still, some drivers will say to you, the last 3 minutes in a final can be an absolute eternity. And then you go, oh, I've got one more lap to do after this. It is just crazy how, you know, you think, oh yeah, this is going by really, really slowly, and then before you know it, it's gone by really, really quickly. So 2 minutes to go, and the battle for 3rd place Here comes Matagne up the inside, returns the favour through at T1. Change for third place there. What's Hassan going to do here? Oh, an attack from behind, bump and run there, I believe. Yeah, he's giving that place back though. I think it's probably, he might have just mistimed the braking. And that's his way to say to Arthur Matagne, sorry, my bad, I didn't mean to do that. But look who is closing in, Leopold Fermin in the number 733, closing really quickly on them at the moment. So this gives the opportunity for us not to just have two drivers battling away. They do say that two's company, three is definitely a crowd, and that is exactly what Fermin is trying to make it. Got, so I would say 3 more laps to go as we just got on to lap number 14, and the gap between third, fourth and fifth less than 0.4 of a second. Now where is Fermin going to go? Oh, they're going to make it 3 wide for the briefest of moments. And what is Fermin got in the trick book? No, not quite. Oh, he nearly did. He nearly got both of them, but both of them had the presence of mind. Hersan got through on Matagne. Matagne just went, oh, Fermin's up my inside. I've got to do something about this here. And now the scramble begins. P3, whoever takes this one, all three of these drivers will have earned it. If one of them gets it, that person will have earned it. For the moment, it is Paul Hersan in the 748, ahead of the 710 of Arthur Matagne in the 733. Leopold Fermin, as we have 2 laps to go. The timer has expired. Black and white warning flag 4. I think that's Paul Hersan. Driving standards, possibly. Means that they are that driver is being kept a keen eye on. Now, all right, Matagne up the inside. And this time, Fermin is going to try for it. Wheel to wheel round the outside. He has to duck back in. It was nip and tuck, though. I have to give Leopold Fermin a shout-out for that one. That was a great attempt of trying to get through 2 corners. Here comes the chicane. Fermin looks that little bit more confident because Matagne is having to defend sternly. Now into turn 11. And Fermin just slots in behind. Dives to the inside. Runs a little bit deep, but covers off the inside line for the next right-hander. Final lap is underway. Blancaspor versus Bathidou, less than 0.2 apart. They are just coming through turn 3, and Bathidou has got the lead. Bathidou's got the lead. He got it at turn 3. But Blancaspor is not going to give that up by any stretch of the imagination. Mick Blancaspor is hounding, hustling Anton Bathidou as we go into turn 11 for the final time. Blancaspor dives to the inside, retakes the race lead with a matter of corners to spare. Now through the final chicane, one more corner. It could be a drag race to the finish. Out of the final corner, Bathidou's going to go for it. And it's going to be Blancaspor. Blancaspor by a whisker over the line. 43 thousandths was the winning margin for the 714 from the Netherlands. But still, let's see what happens for P3. Who's got it? It's Matagne. Matagne takes P3. Paul Hersan, Leopold Fermin could have made it 10 places. Started 13th on the grid. Maurice Istaz takes victory in 1:55. Felix de Decker, Pet Limpach, Sibel Wolfart, Jaden Grutians takes second in 1:55. Rounds out the top 10 ahead of Twan Korman in 11th. Quentin Anoul was less than 0.2 away from P3 in 1:55. Finishes 12th ahead of Enzo Vituli, Sana Ben Nasser, Emil Dwerings, Rafael Parash, Steinboss, Yannick Schmidt and Mika Kolokovic. They all got to the checkered after 16 laps, but the closest finish in KA100 1:45 for a very long time. 43 thousandths in favour of your final winner in this race, Mick Blankerspoor from the Netherlands. Next up, X30 Master, Senior Cup and Gentleman.